Hi everyone, apologies it's been a little bit of time since we've done one of these, but yeah, just some stuff has come up. Anyway, we are up to stage 3, which I think is going to be the last stage for this build, and it's going to be, well, basically finishing everything off. So we're going to go from where we started before. In a second, while I just open up our bags of bits, and this will actually be pretty. Sorry, excuse the rustling. There's quite a lot of Lego here. Ooh. And I'm already dropping bits. Okay, so, yep, we're ready to get going, and where are we now? So I think the first section is going to be building the cab, so that'll be the bit here. Also, you'll hear that the audio sounds a little bit different. That's because we have moved to a new location, which hopefully is going to have less of an echo. There is still a little bit of an echo in here, but I don't think I've quite reached the point of putting up any form of soundproofing. I think we're just going to have to live with that, but never mind. It's not stopped us before, so it's not going to stop us now. Anyway, so let's see. I'm going to move him around just so it's the same way round as the actual model, as the actual diagram, just for my own benefits. And yeah, we're just going to get going with it. So, and these little right angle bits, which are, again, as with all these things, they do tend to color code the internal parts, just to make them easy to see more than anything else, which is very useful. Maybe I need to start thinking about what the next model will be. Not sure at the moment, but we'll definitely think of some options. But anyway. So I think we are going to get a little bit of this just... So this whole book is just stage 3. I think that maybe... just because of the, well, size of the model at this point. So it's just, most of it's going to be stick thing onto the main model rather than do it as separated parts. But yeah, we'll see how it all goes. So that's going to be the edge of the carriage, I think. So if we stick that down there and put a couple of other pieces. So yeah, we're going to get a little bit more of what this is going to look like. Right, so it just needs me to pop that in. Again, with a lot of the Technic stuff, they tend to use these little locking points to keep everything together. And basically just replicating the same thing on the other side, so that will give you an idea of the edge of the cab. And 1, 2, we'll see how it all holds together. So this is me I'm also today trying to burn off holiday, which I'm sure anyone who's been working during lockdown will be well aware of. Oh yes, you can take holiday, but why would you during the apocalypse when instead of being at work and bored around people, you're at home and bored on your own? Which I do appreciate that the child in the younger version of me is going, what the hell are you talking about? Why aren't you at home playing video games? But it's like, yeah, but I like the whole talking to people thing, and I can do that at work. I have been able to get around it a little bit here, but prior to the end of lockdown, I was not inclined to do it. So I ended up this year with nearly 42 days of holiday. It was ridiculous. I don't know how the hell I managed it. Well, I know exactly how I managed to do it by not taking it. But yeah, nearly 42 days of holiday, which was anyway. I have made promises to both myself and various people who will enforce said promises for my own good. It's nice to have the odd thing of being. It's nice to have people who will badger me to keep taking care of myself, but we are at that stage. What type does it want there? It wants a smaller type. But yeah, I am making use of it. Like yesterday, I went over to a friend's house to play with their dog. Basically, they're working from home, and it was just nice to spend the afternoon just keeping their little Labradoodle entertained, who's a very sweet dog. Yeah, she's learning slowly. I don't know. I think she's quite a bright dog, but one of her owners is not quite so sure. But yeah, I'm not really sure how you tell the intelligence of a dog. She seems to understand what I'm doing and seems to also be trying to play me a little bit. So you know the kind of thing where it's like, oh, I did something you don't like, I'm going to hide it because I know that I'll get in trouble. And I mean, there's a degree of intelligence definitely right there and then. Annoying that it is sort of in itself a little destructive, but that's just the way things are. And I'm sure from the attitude of the dog, it's, oh, why I'm getting one over my owner, but there's a degree of, please don't eat that, it's going to kill you. And well, not necessarily kill you, we'd rather hope that doesn't happen, but you know what I mean. There's definitely things that dogs would want to eat that they are not supposed to because they are very bad for them, and please stop trying to eat. No, put it down. Yeah, never mind. It's just one of those things when you have to deal with a sentient animal. Right, so okay, so I think that's going to be the part of the rear tail mechanism. Yep. No, sorry, the front tail mechanism. You know what I mean. So yeah, go on. Right, sorry. Part of the front wheel arch. That's the word I'm looking for. So part of the front wheel arch, and we're going to make a second one. So we'll get him up and running. So long bits. Yeah, as you can see, it's kind of the per page rate of the setup has kind of slowed down a bit because of the well, very much the nature of what we're building. But, what am I looking for? See, this is the lesson to the wise is I got lazy. I'm not knolling anymore, so there's a lot of me going through going, where the hell is that part? Yeah, I will get back into the habit of knolling for next time. Not necessarily on camera, because I do appreciate that it does lengthen the videos quite a lot and ends up with a lot more time, which I need to have my talking over the top of it. But I will make sure to do it. Probably you won't see it on camera, because you can see my attempts to actually line up. That does not line up with the camera, I know, but never mind. It's good enough. Right, so okay, and then do the front light again. If I can find the parts. Where's he gone? Ah, there we are. Right. Also, when I went over yesterday, we played, what was the name of the game? It was things people search for, and you've got to try and guess the Google autocompletes for things people search for. I'm curious as to how accurate it is, because it's the kind of thing where it's like, are Google really going to give you sufficient API access to try and work this out? I don't know. It's all very funny, but I don't know if it's the kind of thing where I can see Google just going, no, because we don't trust you because reasons. But hopefully it is relatively accurate. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, I've learned regretting my ways already that I haven't. Right, it says 11 for that, but whatever. They've given us two 11s, which I don't quite know what it wants me. I think that may just be 11 by type, but you see the one on the other side is. The other one on the side is a 14, so I'm not quite sure. They may have given us duplicates. I mean, it's not unheard of with Lego stuff, but no, that's not the right way around. And there we go, part of the bumper mechanism, and we'll just put another one on the other side. So let's get all the bits together. Where did our spit go? There we go. Come on. So, come on. There we go. There's little warning bits around the edges to, tell you it's a truck. I'm sure you'll be able to work that out, but you know what health and safety is like. This is a truck. Really? Yes, yes it is. Do not step in front of it. There we go. So I've got that. And long white bits. Yep, and you just need to find it. Four of those. Okay, so do that. And then these will fit. See, it's all starting to come together. I mean, it's a little bit of a shame that the Technic stuff wasn't in. I mean, standard Lego bits are supposed to be in. Well, the standardy like Lego bits are supposed to be in line with the system, and so. that means you can get your Lego men's into it. But Technic doesn't really comply with that. It used to, well, mainly because it doesn't have men anymore. It used to. You used to get the little Lego Technic men, and I'm sure I've shown them in another video. I'm not going to dig one out now. That would require too much dismantling, and it would just be the sound of me crashing around in the background. But they used to have these little men that were about yay big. They were fully articulated, so they, well, not fully articulated, but they did actually have articulated ankles, which was a nice touch. But yeah, they kind of sort of discontinued them, which feels a little bit of a shame, but never mind. Right, let me have a quick look, seeing which way round. Yeah, so that bit going inside, because that will be going into the cabin. And that locks onto... I must admit, once you start to see it like that, it sort of gives it this like... This has got to say, different scale. I mean, it's still the same scale, but it just feels a bit like it's different. Not really sure what to say about that, but oh wow, we really are locking things down, aren't we? So there we go. Nope, just realised a mistake I've made. I want it to be that. Okay, so that then goes... yeah, I'm missing a little bit, so... Have I made a mistake somewhere? No, and so it says it goes on there. I'm assuming that turns around a door? It must be a door. Oh, okay. Oh, sure, fine. That's one way to get that in there. Okay, so that makes sense. So that's going to be, again, part of the carriage. And so... All right. Yes, I have. I'm not quite sure why. Not sure I wasn't sure on that, if that makes any sense at all, which it probably doesn't. And so that, and then 4 of those. So there's not actually that many more bits. I mean, that's literally the biggest part and the part that looks the biggest. So that's, nope, that's so like that again. Yeah. Okay, and then that. No, what have I done wrong? Me not paying attention. There we go. That's better. There we go. So lock that in, and there's like support struts that are going in. And so that's going in. Where's that going in? Making 100% sure that I've got that. Oh, sorry, I was just tapping that on the desk. Making 100% sure I'm getting that right, but I think that's going in there. I think I did it the wrong way round. Just double checking. Yes, I have. I can just see it sticking out the back there. Yep. Oh well. Yeah, that was not particularly clear. I had to do it both sets like that. But never mind. That makes sense because there's clearly something that latches onto the back of those. And then I can... Yeah, that makes sense. And those lock in. Cool. There we go. Here we go. Right. So a little bit more to put on. One thing I had been doing over the past couple of weeks since I've been doing this is sort of mainlining the Terry Pratchett audiobooks. I've been basically just chewing my way through the Watch series, which, yeah, has been a lot of fun. Sam Vimes is a grumpy old bastard, which would probably be the way he'd put it, but it's always fun. I especially like the bit in Thud where he uses "Where is my cow" as a battle cry, which yes, that's not my cow. It is a hippopotamus. It goes hurrah. Is yes, of great confusion to the dwarves that he's fighting against. They have no idea why this madman has started turning up shouting about cows. I've been. It's also interesting going through his books. I mean, apart from specifically the wizardy stuff, it seems to be less and less about magic as it goes along. It's more and more about, well, Industrial Revolution, basically. Which is sort of interesting when if you got to like the 20s, the equivalent to the 20th century, which would be, I have no idea what would be in their system because they name them after animals and whatnot. But yeah, Ankh-Morpork would be an interesting place, definitely. I mean, just stuff like the Clacks, which is basically just... Yeah, he had to work quite hard to have basically the telegraph but no electricity. But it seems to have worked. You do end up with odd bits here and there, like there is a somewhere in Ankh-Morpork there's now a perpetual motion machine, which is terrifying. It's a device that just goes round and round and doesn't stop, and it can, yeah, you just think, bloody hell. I suppose it's a good thing that they you can only have one, or rather they only turn up occasionally, and they right. So where does he want to go? Oh, okay. Right, I see what I did there. Was that piece shouldn't have been put on. It should have been the steering wheel, which is, yeah, I mean, it's more representation of steering wheel at this point. I mean, at this scale, the fact that it's not aligned correctly, I don't care. So, and then that's going to be more lights. Cool. Okay, and then there's the connection points here and here, right, and then that among that pops in there. Okay, so we've got the lighting rig. So this would be the bull bars. And that is piece number 15. Number 15. Try and get as much in the middle as possible. I admit that this level of coordination is not my strong point, getting these lined up properly, but I'll do the best I can, even if that's not good enough. It'll do. I'm happy with that. No, that's going to come up. Okay, so those lock together like so. I'm going to put these two in. And then, it wants one of those. And there we go. So you see it's all starting to come together. And then we just put the number plate on. Nearly there. Oh, I see. There's going to be a whole ring around it. No. I don't know. Somehow I just would have expected those to go up rather than down, but there's the design. So, where's that next piece? Where's it gone? Gotta be careful with these that they don't end up with, "Hi, you've reached the James mutters to himself for an hour in an indistinct fashion podcast." But I will try and keep you guys entertained. Yeah, sorry, not been quite as chatty as normal, but yeah, it sort of needs... Maybe I run out of things to say, maybe I've already said them all, but if you would like to hear me ramble on incoherently about a particular subject, please leave it in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. If one of you actually does comment, I will be overwhelmed with baffledness. But, yeah, one of you's going to comment now, and I'll be like, oh my god, someone actually watched my video long enough to get to the bit in the middle where I ramble on about comments. And I will be so surprised. So very, very surprised. I know a couple of you do. Shout out to another James, who I believe does watch these sometimes, which is always heartwarming and life-affirming. There we go. That way around. Okay, so that does make more sense now, the way they've done that. And just need to pop a couple of bits in there. And let's see, wait. There we go. Yeah, so we've got the front. Oh, okay. Sorry, a bit popped off when I wasn't looking. Not quite sure how that happened, but I'm sure I'll see myself hit it like an idiot in the video. Okay, so and that's to so that's to lock the mudguard, bull bar, whatever, in place at the front. And there we go. God, if I ever want to get this apart, I'm going to have to use a pair of pliers. But I don't intend to. I am, yes, indeed, one of those people who tends to leave these fully built and doesn't disassemble and reassemble. But we'll see. I mean, the intention is the big box of Lego in this room, well, boxes, the tower of Lego, which is sort of where it's got to. Hoping eventually that will wind its way down as I build the models. And I don't know what to do with them then. Maybe I'll sell them. Complete with manual, but no box, which is sort of mid-level value for Lego, I think. Yeah, though the way it's also calibrated is the per piece price. So people goes, this model's $300. And it's like, oh, £300. Or like, oh my god, why is it so expensive? And you go, well, it's like 10p per piece. And it's like, well, fair enough. And that's a 10p average. So what I mean is like that and that average out to 10p. So it's just not quite as bad as it might sound if you're not thinking about it too much. And come on. And yeah. There we go. I'm assuming that will get locked down by some other bits later. Well, get locked down by some other bits right now. T-junction bits. So that will lock in that and like that and like that. Okay, so we've got that. And what's the next bit? So that's next bit going to be part of the cabin dash, I think. Let's see. So it should pin in there and then get locked in by that piece. Okay. I'm just trying to find. Ah, there we are. So, checking whether. Okay, so that goes there and there, I think. Yep, that's correct. And then we're putting in part of the roof, I think. I think that is roof. So where's that last piece gone? And there we go. Yeah, so that's going to be the front of the cabin. I thought so. And there's some little lights on top. So those I think will be the last of our oranges. Or orange lights, I mean. I think. We may put in a few more indicators, I'm not sure yet. And that, come on, locks in like that. Yeah, really starting to look like a truck now. need to work out where this bit goes, but let's see, so we've done that. Push that in there, and there. Yeah, pay attention to what you're doing always. And that is roof structure, okay. Goes in, back into there, and then that. Into there like that, so that's the roof strut, and do the same thing on the other side, give it a little bit of flex, well, a little bit of strength, so it will have some flex in it, which, sure, I can live with that. I mean, this is the Lego model. It's not going to be, I mean, apart from things like there is a Lego RC car now, which is probably going to be built with stronger joints and things, well, stronger by sort of more connection points, but yeah, for this kind of model this will be fine. But, yeah, everything will be lovely. There we go. There we go. So I think, yep, that's that part of the cabin done. And oh, we're going to have openable doors. That's nice. It's always a plus with these models. There's a question for YouTube. Can you hum well enough to trigger a copyright strike? I mean, not that you'd ever want a copyright strike. That made me jump for a second. It was just the mail. That was fine. But, you know, there's a moment of, why is there noises? But, no, it's fine. Right, so that way up. Okay. So that's going to be the side of the casing, you know what I mean, and that will be the open and closing door. Fin the other one. So there we are on the door. That just needs the appropriate decal attached. And that should, right, where's that lock in? And there we go. So we've got a cabin door that opens and closes. I think we're going to be a bit small to put in detents, but even so. And just repeat the same for the side, and I don't know where the rest of this stuff is now, because I mean, shouldn't this just go, it'll need to have more structural support than that. So there we are, and I'll just put the stickers onto this one. You know, one thing I've realised with Pratchett, I don't know if this is intentional or if indeed it says anything about his wife, but he has a thing for severe young women. I've noticed that in his stories. Most of his young female characters that are young women, as opposed to, you know, old women or children, seem to be very no nonsense. I mean, I'm thinking of Susan Stowhelt, Death's granddaughter, who is a degree of like, would not fuck with. Would I ask her for a drink? I don't know if I'd get murdered or not. There's definitely a degree of would I attempt it? There we go. Right, so that's done. But yeah, like I said, it's just I just noticed that his women are very no nonsense, which may be a response to the whole damsel in distress thing, which I'm sure he detested when he started doing fantasy things. You know, things like the I suppose going right back to things like the Dragon Queen, where what was his name? The original version, one of the barbarians, I can't remember which one, because I'm not sure if because they seem to be to a degree interchangeable to start with. He ended up with someone or other. Yeah, he ended up being as Dragon Lord. Right. So is that supposed to... Yeah, so that's supposed to bow, which is why it's soft. Okay. Gives it a little bit of a nice rounded shape. And then this will be the smokestacks. Okay. But yes, I remember in the first book, second book? I can't remember. Yeah, he ends up going, fine, I'm going to become the Dragon Lord. You know, I'm not the brightest tool in the shed, but I'll survive. And this lady seems to know, not nice, but like, all right, fine, this will do. Well, when I say this will do, I mean he's fabulously rich and has a beautiful wife, but you know, sort of realizes that this adventuring thing hasn't really got him anywhere. You know, stolen treasure comes up. Yeah, stolen treasure gets spent in a couple of weeks of boozing, and yeah. There we go. So there's your smokestack sorted. Oh, that's going to be for the steering shaft. Yeah, I can see that that's going. Which is always nice when these are just nice simple designs, just a nut on the end of a big pole. There we go, there's the steering sorted. And that's going to be the back end of the structure for the... You always be careful with these ones. I often get them confused where I put them that way up rather than that way up. And you can see from the camera where you are, that's very obvious, but where I'm sitting, it looks like that. So. Come on, right in there. Not too big. So there's that. Yep, I think that's right. And then, yeah, you'll shove that one. That way up. And that links in. There. All right, fine. Hang on. No, sorry, there's one further down. Okay, that makes more sense. And then that one locks in. Okay. And that one is... Oh, I see. Okay, so that's the water tank. There we go. to be covered with a bunch of controls, but I can't really see. Oh, okay, hang on. So oh, it's a manual crank rod. Ah, okay. Right. One way round is one thing, one way round is the other. Okay, that makes sense. To be... So one size 6 to go. So. Oh, I get it now. So if it turns one way, it pushes it back in. You turn it the other way, it pushes it out. Okay, so that's for all the bits. Right, okay, that makes sense. That's made the mechanism make more sense to me now. Good. There we go. Okay, so that then goes on like that. And then there's a turning mechanism doodad. A little spacer in it, and then a round bit so it turns, and there we go. Hang on, that sticker is on back to front. I'm pretty sure that's back to front. Yeah. I mean, not that I really need, not that I had to correct it, but it's just better that I did because it means that the actual thing lines up properly. Yeah, so now it's... Yeah, you can see clockwise and counterclockwise actually lines up now. Cool, that's that sorted. That's going to be part of the cradle, I think. I think most of the rest is going to be cradle for the mixer. Doesn't look right. It's probably going to be held together by something else. Oh, these are wheel arches. All right, fine. I thought these might be... Yeah, that makes sense as well. Ah, right, no, that was right. Wait, what? That's not lining up. What have I done wrong? Something's not right. Yeah, that's not going to fit at all. Okay, so I'm going to pull this bit off again. We made another mistake. Right. So it should have been that way round, and that way round, and then put that back in there, and then put that back in there. And yeah, now it fits. Okay, so I did see what I did wrong there. Cool. Right, that makes sense now. Let's make sure that does actually go the right way. Oh, bollocks. What have I done wrong? Oh, arse flaps. That's what I did wrong. I'm not sure how to get that back in. So careful. Yes, I'm very careful. Moral of the story is always be careful when pulling Lego bits. Because I really don't want to leave it without one of its primary functions. That would just be a disaster. So. Yeah, this is going to take a little bit of concentration to try and get it sorted. Come on. Right. Okay, sorry, we're going to start pulling at things. I think I can just about get him lined up now. Damn it. I am not doing a full disassembly. I am not doing a full disassembly. Careful when you're doing this. Right, I'm going to need a pair of tweezers. Just give me 1 second. Do I have any tweezers? Right. These aren't tweezers, but I have to do. Come on. Yeah, the bit it's trying to get into is actually basically part of the drive shaft, so it's not something I can pull out easily. nearly there. I can see what I need to do. I can almost certainly do it. It's just taking so bloody long. Finally, right, okay, good. I pulled a piece out, where did it go? I'm not sure what it pulled out. There we go, so pulled out that. I see, right. So let's line it up, so if I... So that was to keep everything lined up. And right, bloody hell. Okay, so that is the right way round. Good, right, that's sorted. Oh my god, that was painful. Okay, so now we can continue. That'll be for the back wheels here, I think, this bit. Well, you've had your Lego drama for the day. It was frustration and a half, but these things happen. So there's the fact we don't glue the models together, which God, what a sacrilegious concept. One should never glue Lego together. Lego should hold together by virtue of its I mean, okay, Master Lego builders building statues, yeah, fine, that's a given, but any other reason, no. Never ever glue Lego together. So, and basically the same thing on the other side. Come on. Come on. There we go. Right. There we go. And then that pops neatly onto here. Yep, there we go. So there's your front and back bits, and then that's going to be the controls for the other side. Yep. So not far to go, we're nearly done. There we go. So now, yep, gives us the control, and then we just got to put in the mudguard on this side, and I think that's it. Apart from the pièce de résistance, which is the mixer itself. Sorry there. Yeah, there we go. So it's just building that up. So, I've got to think about what the next Lego... God, I know what the next Lego project is. I'm not going to lie about it. I know it's going to be the... well, quite frankly, getting everything sorted with the... with my mountains and mountains of Lego. no, that's fine. I know it needs doing. It's my project. I decided to do it. It needs doing, etc., etc. Grumble, grumble, grumble. But no, it'll be great when it's finished. It'll be great when I have, you know, all the Lego properly sorted and I've got everything organized. And I still haven't been able to bribe anyone to come and help me, which is slightly disappointing, but I suppose not unreasonable considering the fact I am asking them to do large amounts of unpaid manual labour, which, yeah, fine. Well, I attempt to pay them by beer or whatever. I always find it odd, the weird songs you get stuck in your head. The one I've got at the moment is When the Old Drum Caught Fire, the version that the Future Heads did, which was weird. Like they've come back, but when they sort of stopped for a bit, they did a cappella album and then wandered off. And I was like, okay, fine. Which, you know, they are wanting to do, but it's very good, but it just wasn't what I was expecting from them. But anyway, they've come back now. I saw them at Truck Festival. You know, they were the kind of truck veterans where they remember literally when it was a festival of trucks. Not about trucks, but like, you know, the bands were basically just on trailers, which actually sounds kind of fun. But no, it's a proper festival with, like, you know, tents and whatnot now. I kind of wish it was still hang on, what have I done wrong? I see. Should have been that. Okay, that makes more sense. Come on. In. Ugh. I've completely ballsed this up. Oh well, let's start again. So that goes in the long end. There we go. Now this makes more sense. There we go. Aha. So, the bit we've all been waiting for. I mean, I don't know how else Lego would do this other than just a honking great piece of plastic like this. But, you know, makes perfect sense to me. So, there we go. So those are locked in. And One thing we are missing, I'm not quite sure where I missed that, was the logo on the front. It's a bit wonky, I don't care. There we go. So, it's got two settings. One is that it spins as it moves along, and the other one is that you do it manually, which is backwards and forwards. Great. And just for completeness, I am going to put these in. They're going to go everywhere, but I will tidy them up. We have 100 little doodly bits, which there we go. So if I'm very careful now, let's do it round where I can see the controls. So now the good old Archimedes screw hang on. Is this not going to work? Yeah, it works. There you go. And let's spit them out. Right. Well, at the risk of them going everywhere, I mean, this is a little bit of a parent's nightmare. Of course, it does need to have this feature, but bloody hell, it's going to frustrate somebody at some point. Anyway, so there you go. And you can even see, if you look inside, you can even see the little pistons that will go back up and down as it goes. It turns, and then it will turn as it goes. Right, that was fun. That's a nice little model to put together. I mean, little, it's actually quite big. But yeah, I really like that one. I mean, admittedly, I'm a little old for the target audience, but there you go. It's got a nice little mechanism in it. A lot of gearing, but there you go. Even got, does it have? Yep. Proper split differential. Yeah. Anyway, so I wasn't as talkative as I have been on some of the others. I must admit, I think I've got a spot on my tongue, and I just didn't want to talk as much. But the audio should have been better. I've been playing with the lighting, so that should look much nicer. And yeah, it does from what I can see. Nice and bright, not too much glare on the paper. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching my project, and I will see you guys later.